Hello there, welcome to Critical Reviews. Today, I'm taking a look at Joker, Folie, Deux.
I used to think that my life was a tragedy, but now I realize it's a comedy.
That line, like so many things in the first film, is completely spun around. This might well be the ultimate subverting expectations film, yet one that does so in a thoughtful way, even if it is destined to please few who put so much stock into the first groundbreaking movie way back in 2019. Before we get stuck into Folie, Deux, however, your spoiler-free plot summary. Arthur Fleck is in prison, awaiting trial. His life is a humdrum of monotony as he is mocked by the guards and performs jokes for cigarettes. His life changes when he meets Lee, a mental rehab inmate who is obsessed and besotted with the Joker and his actions on the Murray Franklin chat show where he murdered the host. She's not alone. The Joker has a legion of fans, enamoured with what he represents. The attention elevates Fleck, transforms him and revives the Joker within. But is it true love or is he being manipulated? As he heads out to the trial that will determine if he lives or dies, a key part of his legal defence is that the Joker is a separate aspect from Arthur Fleck, and therefore it is his shadow that is responsible for the killing and not the man himself. Let's be quite clear from the off. Joker didn't need a sequel. The original was lightning in a bottle, a transcendent movie come character study with oodles of unreliable narrator and questions posed about society and the way that it treats people. It asked questions, it posed answers to those questions that were uncomfortable, and most importantly, it fully fleshed out and made us empathise with Arthur Fleck. It was made for a paltry budget and made a lot of money, certainly capturing the public's imagination and entering the zeitgeist for sure. Therefore, a sequel was inevitable. A sequel that no one really wanted. A sequel that the creators didn't even want to make. A sequel that would catastrophically destroy what had come before. Now, there are many, many spoilers in this film, so my ability to convey in detail the myriad things that may have upset people regarding the narrative is somewhat hamstrung. There are also many spoiler reviews out there that will go into detail of these points should you wish to check them out. But in my view, there are two forms of criticism for this movie: objective and subjective. Subjective seems to be what is mainly dominating the buzz around the film, that it is some kind of giant middle finger to people, that it's telling people that they were wrong for liking the first one, that it is some kind of attack. I can't comment too much on that without getting into specifics, but I can see why people might come to that conclusion. However, I do think there are other perspectives that can be taken. What I'll talk about here is the objective problems with this movie. First of all, let's tackle the music. This film was very early on revealed to be a musical with Lady Gaga attached to play Harley Quinn. I'll admit at this point I was extremely concerned. I hate pop music, especially modern pop music, and the idea of Lady Gaga caterwauling her greatest contemporary hits filled me with dread. Thankfully, this is not the case. The music was fine, and although it was marketed as a musical, there aren't actually any complete songs that I recall, more portions that just convey how a particular character feels, and these are done well, even if it does come a bit much after a while. Certainly the music adds a voice and narrative all of its own through the songs that are chosen, and all of them are there just to sound pretty. Likewise, the acting in the film is very good. Brendan Gleeson stands out as one of the prison guards. Phoenix is as compelling as ever in another challenging role that is as physical as it is theatrical. And Gaga, given her limited screen time, does just fine. The cinematography and score are likewise extremely impressive, and the environments are given a realism and grittiness that is a far cry from the usual Hollywood veneer that is pasted over a film. The problems with this film are structural, built into its story and its pacing. It heaves through its runtime. It still employs the themes of the original, whilst throwing in the ideas of how celebrity worship can affect someone and how a certain mind could be impacted and manipulated, ideas of identity and love, and how it can have the power to both build and destroy. But As with so many films of late, it's too long, it's too bloated and meandering. It stumbles from scene to scene, and for every moment it impresses or enthralls, there is another that bemuses or disappoints. The film achieves little, comes across as pretentious, unnecessarily cruel, and certainly it gives ammunition to those that would assign it levels of malevolence and vitriol towards the audience. The first film was a triumph. It lifted the audience despite the dark material. It was an interesting, provocative and compelling movie, but people left the cinema happy, buoyed by what they had seen, recommending it to others. The second film is not. It is a depressing, joyless trudge, with moments of colour that are rendered all the more tragic when they are swiftly subsumed by the brutality of reality. The songs are Arthur's escape, the penchant for theatricality manifesting in his mind, but it's also muddled this time, the film taking as much as it gives, perhaps more. Final thoughts. Joker, Folie, Deux, or The Madness of Two, is a film that is destined to please no one. Whereas the first was an uplifting yet disturbing study of societal breakdowns and mental health, the way that its neglect can have ramifications on a damaged mind, it will always likely be regarded positively. The sequel casts all of this down, while it still carries over and examines themes that were present in the original, and even presents new ones which are worthy of thought and provoke new discussion. Sadly, this film just doesn't entertain in the same way, with a narrative that confuses and muddles more than it satisfies. It's inconsistent, at odds with its predecessor, and eschews what narrative had been developed, choosing chaos and mayhem, keeping the audience guessing with twists and turns that sadly just ask too much of them, bamboozling and throwing out so much out there that it just dissolves into a badly paced passive slog, unwilling to give back to the audience what it expects from them. Ultimately, I contest that this film is as bad as the critics are saying. I still think the movie has merit, poses questions, and invites thought and debate. I don't think this is a film that is objectively terrible. I mean, people are saying this is worse than the Marvels. Hardly. However, it is absolutely an unsatisfying movie.
The suspicion that we're not giving the people what they want.
It's okay, baby. Let's give the people what they want.
And the biggest crime of this film, I guess, is that it doesn't. But that's life. And to expand on that, here's a few lyrics from one of the many excellent songs in the film. I said that's life, and as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on a dream, but I don't let it get me down, 'cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. The dreams are dead, this film killed them, but hey, that's life. Thanks for watching. I've been Critic, and I'll be back with another movie review soon.